Asking questions during a job interview is one of the most important things for your job search success, but it can be a big challenge. Not only are you trying to answer the interviewer's questions well, but you're also trying to keep your body language in check to make sure you don't appear to be anxious or nervous. With all of this happening, how can you even think about what questions that you want to ask your interviewer? Well, in this video, I'm going to do all the heavy lifting for you. I'm diving deep into 3 types of questions you should ask in your next interview, when you should ask those questions, and word-for-word examples that you can use in your next interview. And be sure to stick around until the end to learn where you can grab your very own copy of my free interview guide. It's a step-by-step cheat sheet for answering the most popular interview questions, including behavioral-based questions. Hey, I'm Heather, a career strategy expert, and over the years, I've helped hundreds of thousands of professionals build their personal brand so they can land their dream job and grow in a field they love. So if you want that same thing, tap the subscribe button down below. Now, before any job interview, there's a lot you'll need to do to prepare, including researching the company and gathering your career stories to help you answer the interviewer's questions. But there's another piece of the interview that you don't want to forget: asking them smart questions. This impresses your interviewer and tells them that you're serious about the position. They will see you as someone who is prepared and sincerely interested in learning more. It also helps you gain valuable information so that you can determine if you even want to work for the company. Now, keep in mind, you should only ask questions that haven't been answered in the interview, or questions that you can't find answers to on your own, like, what does this company do? Now, before I jump into the 8 smart questions you should ask in your next interview, I like to break questions into 3 categories: questions about the position, questions about the company, and questions about the team. You should enter an interview prepared to ask at least 1 question in each of these categories. Now, in this video, I'll be sharing a few examples from each category. The other thing I want you to remember is that you don't need to wait until the end of the interview to ask your questions. If you find a natural opening and the timing's right, ask your questions then. Do your very best to get them talking and turn your interview into a real conversation. Let's jump into it. The first smart question to ask in your next interview is, can you describe a typical workday for someone in this position? Now, the thing I love about this question is that it helps you better understand the ins and outs of a typical workday and allows you to really picture yourself in the position. It gives you the chance to determine whether it's something you'll really like and if you'll really be happy in that spot. To dive even deeper into this question, ask them to elaborate on something specific from the job description. Like, hey, I noticed in the posting it was mentioned that one of the responsibilities include delivering responsive customer service using proven frameworks. Can you tell me more about those frameworks and what your interpretation of responsive customer service is? Remember, your questions can be as vague or as detailed as you'd like. Now, the second question to ask in your next interview is, how do you define success in this role? Now, this question lets your interviewer know that you want to perform well in the position. They'll know that you aren't just in it for the paycheck or looking to advance your own career, but that you are sincerely there to help the company. This question will help you understand important benchmarks or KPIs, key performance indicators, to show that you're getting the job done well. Remember, if you're hired, you aren't just looking to come to work and then call it a day. You actually want to achieve career success and growth, and this question allows you to see what that looks like in this new role. Now, the third smart question to ask in your next interview is, what do you like about working here? I love this question because it helps you make a personal connection with the interviewer. It also gives the interviewer a chance to talk about himself or herself, which people love to do. Now, if you're interviewing with a team of people, be sure to ask all of them what they enjoy about their job. The more people you can hear from, the better you'll be able to understand the company culture and what it's really like to work there. Now, something to watch out for, otherwise known as a red flag, is boring or nondescript answers that only mention salary or compensation. This may indicate that the culture is not healthy or enjoyable. Also, take note of the tone of voice or body language when team members tell you what they like about the job. You can normally tell if they're being sincere or not. And hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to tap the subscribe button down below. This will help me grow my channel, which will allow me to create even more career content just for you. Another great question to ask in an interview, which falls in the team category, is, can you tell me more about the team I will be working on? Now, one of the most crucial parts of a job is who you work with and who you work for. If you're offered the position and you accept it, you won't be doing your job solo. You'll be working with other people to solve problems and move the company forward. So by learning more about the team, you'll gain a greater understanding of how the company is structured, what the team dynamics look like, and how you will fit in. You can go even deeper on this question by asking about company-specific projects. Now, another bonus about this question is that it allows you to mention a career story that demonstrates your success working on a team that's similar to their team. And hey, in just a second, I'll be sharing where you can grab your free copy of the interview guide. It's my cheat sheet to help you answer some of the most popular interview questions with clarity and confidence. So stay tuned for that. Now, the fifth question to ask in your next job interview is, what are some of the biggest challenges of this position? This question gets straight to the heart of what they need. Someone who can think critically and solve problems. Hopefully they answer with something that doesn't sound too easy, but will still be something you can overcome. And it's even better if they talk about a challenge that you've already had experience in, because you can again mention this career story to show that you understand what it takes to be successful in the role. Listen closely to see if they answer with a challenge that you're certain you don't want, such as poor boundaries or lack of communication from higher ups. Another question to ask in your next job interview is, what does the company do to promote a positive work culture? Thankfully, we live in an age where businesses are finally starting to take mental health seriously, so it's acceptable to ask what they do to promote a healthy working environment. You can learn about what the company does to create connections between its team members and what they do to help their employees feel confident and happy in the workplace. For example, some businesses offer counseling or they offer other perks to boost morale. Take note, if the interviewer stumbles over this question or doesn't really have an answer, as this may indicate the company doesn't have a solid strategy to emotionally support their employees. Now, the next question to ask in your interview, is there anything else we haven't discussed yet that you're looking for in an ideal candidate? So during the interview, you made your case as to why you're the candidate they need, right? Now, this question gives you one last chance to paint a picture of why you're the best person for the job. It also shows that you're thorough and thinking outside of the box to ensure that you've discussed every possible detail of what the job entails. Another way to ask this question is there anything about my background or resume that you would like to know more about? Asking questions like this shows that you're open to discussing your career so that you can demonstrate how you can make their job easier. And then finally, one of my favorite questions to ask at the very end of the interview is, what are the next steps in the hiring process? Now, some people make the mistake of ending an interview without being clear on what comes next. Take the last few moments of your interview to ask what's next and what you should expect. You want to make sure you understand the expectation of when you and your interviewer will touch base again. Will they give you a phone call or send you an email for another round of interviews? Is there a certain date that you can expect to hear from them? This is a great question to finish up the interview and end on a really strong note. And don't forget to grab your free copy of my interview guide, a cheat sheet to help you feel more confident in answering some of the most difficult interview questions. And to really master your next interview, click or tap the video right here to learn how to answer the top 7 tough interview questions. I'll also place a link for you down below. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.